I'm Dr. Alex Mercer, and this morning feels heavier than usual. You ready, Alex? Leah's voice breaks through the hum of machines in Elysium Labs. I nod, though my hands tremble slightly. Always, I say, forcing a steady tone. The lab buzzes with energy. Raj is at his station, eyes glued to the monitors. Data looks good so far, he says, without looking up. But I can see the tension beneath his calm. We're about to start the most ambitious experiment of our careers. Mapping the human emotional brain. The world outside waits with bated breath, but inside, I wrestle with a ghost. Emily, my fiancée, disappeared 3 months ago. No clues, no answers. Leah catches my eye. You don't have to do this if it's too much. Pierces through my guarded exterior. This is exactly why I have to, I reply, voice low. Understanding emotions might answer questions even science hasn't dared ask. Raj's voice cuts in. Subject 001 is prepped. Neural interface is calibrated. Ready when you are, Alex? I step closer to the sleek chair where Subject 001 waits. The man's eyes are steady, but I see a flicker of nervousness. How do you feel? I ask softly. Ready? He says, voice steady but quiet, as I activate the interface. I feel a strange mixture of hope and dread. Leah stands beside me, whispering, whatever happens, we do this together. Raj's fingers fly over. The controls. Initiating emotional mapping now. The subject's brainwaves light up on the screens, patterns shifting in real time. Incredible, Leah breathes. But beneath the science, I hear the echo of my own heartbreak. I wonder if this experiment will bring answers or unleash something we can't control. Hold steady, I say aloud, though it's more a plea than a command. This is just the beginning. The screens flickered as Subject 1's brain activity shifted day again. Look at this spike, Leah said, pointing to the monitor. That's not normal. I rubbed my temples. I know. Subject 001 was supposed to be stable. But now his emotions were like a storm raging one moment, shattered the next. Yesterday, he smashed a glass during a fit of anger. Today, he wept uncontrollably, begging for forgiveness no one offered. Leah looked worried. Alex, this is beyond what we predicted. We're stirring up something dangerous. I clenched my fists. It can't stop now. Not when we're this close, she sighed. Your obsession isn't helping. You're pushing the limits because of... because of Emily. Her words hit me hard. You don't know what it's like, Leah softened. I'm sorry, but this isn't just science anymore. We're playing with raw human emotion forces. We don't fully understand. The subject shifted in his chair, eyes wild. Please, don't leave me, he whispered. I stared at him, feeling a strange kinship. I won't, I promised quietly. That night I sat alone, haunted by my own grief and guilt. Was I using this experiment to heal myself, or was I condemning everyone involved? Leah's warning echoed in my mind. But I pushed forward, blinded by the pain I refused to face, because understanding these cracks in the mind was the only way to survive. I caught Raj staring intently at his screen, but something felt off. I cleared my throat. Raj, can I talk? To you for a minute? He looked up, his usual easy smile gone. Sure, Alex. What's up? I pulled up the recent data logs. These readings don't add up. The side effects, some spikes are missing, and some incidents aren't logged. Raj's eyes flickered. Then he shrugged.
Oh.
The data is fine. Maybe there's a glitch. Don't lie to me, I said sharply. I know you're hiding something. His face hardened. You don't understand, Alex. If the board finds out about the side effects, this project is dead. I'm protecting my career. I felt a cold stab in my chest. At what cost? People's safety? Raj leaned in, voice low and bitter. Science isn't about feelings. It's about results. If you want to stop, go ahead. I took a step back, disbelief washing over me. I trusted you. Trust doesn't pay the bills, Mercer. Room felt colder, the weight of betrayal pressing down. Later, alone in my office. Memories of Emily flooded back, her laugh, her touch. My grief deepened, twisting with anger. I whispered to myself, how could you do this? After everything, Raj's betrayal wasn't just about the experiment, it was personal. I didn't know if I could forgive it. The alarms blared before I even realized what was happening. Security now. Leah's voice cracked over the comms as Subject 001 slammed his fists against the glass wall, shattering it. He froze, heart pounding. Stop, we can calm him down. But his rage was a tidal wave, raw and uncontrollable. Why won't you? Let me go, he screamed, voice shaking the room. Raj pushed past me, shouting, we need to restrain him. I tried to reach out, but the chaos blinded me. The man was thrashing, eyes wild with despair and fury. I saw blood trickle from a cut on his arm. He was hurting himself. Get him out now, Alea shouted. But security was already moving in, restraining him with heavy gloves and calm orders. The damage was done. The lab was a mess. Equipment broken, glass everywhere. Later, as the media circled like vultures, the board shut the project down indefinitely. I sat in my office, head in my hands. This is my fault, I whispered. My obsession pushed him too far. Leah knocked softly and entered. Alex, you can't carry this alone. I failed him, failed Emily. How do I keep going when I've broken everything? She sat beside me. By admitting it and by fighting to make it right. But even with her support, I felt isolated, broken inside. The experiment was over, but the scars remained. And I didn't know if I could forgive myself. I caught wind of whispers before I saw the boardroom. Raj was there, spinning tails like a snake charming its prey. Alex's judgment is clouded, he said, voice dripping with fake concern. This project needs stronger leadership. I felt my stomach twist. Leah, is this true? She shook her head firmly. No, Alex has always had our best interests. At heart, Raj smiled coldly. Maybe for you, but some of us see the risks. Later, I confronted Raj. Why are you doing this? He shrugged. Survival. This project is too important to fail because of personal pain. Your personal ambition is tearing us apart. His eyes darkened. Watch your back, Mercer. Leah pulled me aside. The team is divided. Some believe Raj. I clench my fists. I can't let this break us. That night, I stared at Emily's photo. What would you want me to do? Fight or walk away? Her smile seemed to challenge me. I knew the answer. The next day, I called a meeting. This project is bigger than any of us. We must choose unity, or we fail. Some nodded. Others remained silent. The fracture was real, but I wasn't ready to give up. Not yet. I would fight not just for the project, but for the memory of what I lost. I can't shake the memories. Last night, Emily's smile haunted me again, clear as day, even though she's been gone too long. I closed my eyes, but the pain only sharpened. Leah found me in the lab early this morning. Alex, you're drowning in ghosts, she said. Softly, you have to fight back. Use this pain. Don't let it consume you. I shook my head. How? Every time I try, Raj's shadows creep in. He's pushing harder under, mining everything. She frowned, biting her lip. I know. But there's hope. We made a breakthrough with the emotional mapping more detailed than ever. Show me, I whispered, desperate. She pulled up the latest data. Look here! We can now isolate specific emotional patterns and predict reactions. This could change everything. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. This wasn't just science, it was power. If we can control emotions, I said slowly, we can fix what Raj is trying to break. Leah nodded. And maybe get back at those who betrayed us. I clenched my fists. They think I'm weak. I don't know what I'm capable of. The lab buzzed around us, but my mind was elsewhere, torn between the ache of loss and a fiery hunger for justice. Emily, I whispered, I won't let your memory fade. I'll fight for us. Leah smiled faintly. That's the spirit. For the first time in weeks, I felt something flicker, hope wrapped in vengeance, burning bright through the mist of my memories. The lab felt different the day we resumed. Tighter controls, new protocols. Leah insisted we couldn't afford another disaster. I nodded, but inside, I was bracing for the storm I knew was coming. Alex, Leah said, her voice steady as always, we have to be meticulous. Every variable logged, every emotion measured. No room for error. I sighed, glancing around at the team prepping subject. 002, I know. But I can't stop thinking about what happened with 001. Leah caught my eye. Me too, that's why. We're stricter now. We've learned. Just then, Raj appeared at the edge of the room. He smiled too carefully, like a cat watching a mouse. Back at it, huh? Trying to fix your mess? I stiffened. Gosh! This isn't about your ego. It's about science. He shrugged. Science or obsession? You think you can control what you don't understand. Leah stepped between us. Enough, Raj. We all want this to work. Let's focus. Raj smirked but backed off, his eyes cold. Later, I caught Leah alone by the equipment console. Think he's still sabotaging? She bit her lip. He's not subtle anymore, but we're prepared. This time, I trust our safeguards. I wanted to believe her. Wanted to believe this experiment was the key to everything healing. Revenge, maybe even closure. The doubt gnawed at me. That night, I sat alone in my office, replaying every moment. Oh, why can't I just let it go? I whispered to myself. Why do I keep pushing? My phone buzzed. A message from Leah. Remember, it's not just science now. It's personal. Stay sharp. I smiled grimly. She was right. This was personal. More than data, more than results, it was about proving. I was stronger than... The lab was tense when we started the day. I never expected what happened next. Subject 002, begin emotional stimulus protocol, Leah called out. Her voice steady, despite the tightness I felt in my chest. I watched the monitors, the data. Streaming in, emotions spiking and dipping. So far, so good. But then something shifted. Wait, that's not right, Leah said, narrowing her eyes. His readings are spiking beyond expected thresholds. Raj was nearby, watching silently. I caught his smirk for just a second before he looked away. Control. The stimulus? I barked, heart pounding. We need to stabilize him now. But Subject 2's eyes flashed with sudden rage. No. Stop. You're hurting me. He yelled, his voice raw with panic. Security. Leah shouted, panic creeping in. The room erupted in chaos. The subject thrashed, knocking over equipment. I could hear shouts orders to restrain him. I rushed forward. Calm down. We're here to help. Lunged fury blazing in his eyes. I ducked just in time as he slammed into a console. Sparks flying. Raj, what did you do? I demanded, voice sharp. He shrugged, as if daring me to do something. You wanted results? I gave you reality. Leah grabbed my arm. We need to. Get him secured before someone gets hurt. I nodded, swallowing my fear and rage. Subject 002, listen to me. I'm in control. You're safe. His breathing was heavy, wild. Safe. How can I be safe when you're experimenting on my mind? I clenched my fists, because this has to end. We have to understand emotions, not be ruled by them. Shook his head. You don't understand pain. That hit me harder than anything else. I do. I've lost more than you know. Raj's voice cut in, cold. Stop the pity party, Alex. This is science. No, I snapped. This is human. And you've turned it into a weapon. Security finally restrained the subject, but the damage was done. Broken equipment, shattered trust, and a team on edge. Leah looked at me, eyes wide. We're suspended indefinitely. I nodded, feeling the weight of failure crush me. Raj's sabotage nearly destroyed us all. He met my gaze unrepentant. Sometimes, destruction is necessary. I shook my head, anger and grief mixing in my chest. Not like this. Not at the cost of everything we promised. Leah put a hand on my shoulder. We'll find a way forward. Together, I wanted to believe her. I needed to. But inside, my fury burned hotter than ever. Raj had crossed a line, and I wasn't done fighting. The air in the conference room was thick, every eye locked on me. My heart pounded, but I forced my voice steady. Raj, the data manipulation ends now, I said, holding up the reports I'd uncovered. You hid the side effects. You lied to everyone. Raj's face tightened, but he didn't deny it. Instead, he sneered. You don't understand what I'm trying to achieve. This project is bigger than any one person's feelings. Bigger than ethics, I shot back. You risked lives. You risked everything for your ambition. Leah sat beside me, nodding. We trusted you. Raj's eyes flicked to her. Trust is earned, not given. I'm the only one with the vision to push this forward. Vision, I said, voice rising. You blinded yourself with it. Look at what happened. Subject 002 almost died. The project is a mess. There was murmuring among the board members. I could feel their judgment pressing down. One of them, a sharp woman named Daniels, leaned forward. Dr. Mercer, do you have proof of these claims? I held up the file again. Here are the altered logs. The suppressed reports. The risks. You hid. Raj's facade cracked. You don't know what it's like to lose someone, Alex. To be desperate enough to do anything. I swallowed hard, the mention of her piercing me. That's why I fight to do this right. Not destroy lives, Leah added quietly. Raj's choices could have cost us our humanity. Raj spat. Humanity? What do you know about it? Enough, I said. Enough to know this project needs to end. Now. The room fell silent as the board deliberated. Minutes felt like hours. Then Daniel spoke, effective immediately. The experiment is suspended. An independent review will take place. Raj's shoulders slumped, but his eyes burned with defiance. After the meeting, I stood alone in the empty lab, surrounded by broken machines and shattered hopes. Leah joined me quietly. It's over. I looked at the wreckage, not just the experiment. Something inside me, too. She placed a hand on my arm. You're still here, Alex. You still have a choice. I nodded slowly. I almost lost myself chasing answers. But now I have to find my way back. The silence that followed was heavy, but somehow cleansing. For the first time in months, I allowed myself to breathe. The office was quieter than I remembered, the hum of machines replaced by silence. I sat. At my desk, staring at the empty screen, it felt like starting over again. Leah's voice broke through. Alex, you okay? I looked up to see her standing in the doorway, hesitant but steady. Trying to be, I said, forcing a smile. Feels strange, like I'm picking up pieces from a shattered mirror. She stepped inside, folding her arms. We both are. But maybe the cracks let the light in. I nodded, appreciating her words but feeling the weight beneath them. I keep thinking about what we lost. The project, the trust, and her. Leah's eyes softened. I know, but sometimes survival is the real victory. Her calm made it easier to breathe. So what now? The board shut us down. Raj's betrayal burned bridges everywhere. We rebuild differently, she said. Ethical research, transparency. We can't erase the past, but we can shape. The future? I ran a hand through my hair. Feels like climbing out of a dark hole. Step by step, Leah said, together. We started drafting new protocols, focusing on safety and consent. Every meeting felt like therapy, confronting the ghosts, but also reclaiming purpose. Remember when we first talked about this? Leah asked during one session. About understanding emotions to help people, not hurt them? I smiled faintly. Yeah, it seemed like a dream back then. She leaned forward, eyes bright. Still can be. We just have to be smarter.
Our
Fragile alliance grew stronger. I realized trust wasn't just given. It was rebuilt, like a bridge between broken islands. Late one night, caught myself writing again not data or theories, but words from the heart. A journal of sorts, piecing together my pain and hope, Leah noticed. You're healing. I think I'm starting to believe that too. Sometimes I caught my reflection and barely recognized the man staring backworn, but not defeated. I learned some losses could never be fixed. but surviving them meant everything. As the days passed, the weight lifted just enough to let me breathe, and for the first time in a long time, I saw a future worth fighting for. I wasn't expecting anything that day. The usual flood of emails. Most junk or work-related. Nothing personal. Then, a message appeared, subject line, from the past. I hesitated before opening it. My fingers trembled. The sender's name was unknown, just an anonymous email address. I clicked. The message was brief but enough to stop my breath. Alex, she's alive. I can prove it. Meet me at the old pier tonight, 8 p.m. Come alone. I dropped the phone onto the desk. My heart pounded like a drum inside my chest. Alive, after all these years. The last time I heard anything, she was gone without a trace. Leah walked in just then, breaking my stunned silence. Everything okay? She asked. Noticing the shock on my face, I swallowed hard. I got a message. Someone says she's alive. Leah frowned. Are you sure? Could be a prank? I shook my head. I don't know, but it feels real. It has to be. Her eyes softened. Alex, if there's even a chance, you need to be careful. We don't know who sent that. I know, I said, but what choice do I have? This could change everything. Leah sighed. What about your work? Your new path? Toad. I stared at my hands, conflicted. That's the thing. I'm torn. Do I chase a ghost and risk losing the future I'm building? Or do I let her go finally? She reached out, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. It's your decision. Just don't lose yourself. That night, I paced the empty apartment. The message haunted every corner. Why now? I muttered. After all this time, memories flooded in the laughter, the promises, the silence when she disappeared. I had buried the pain but never fully let go. My phone buzzed again. Another message. Come alone. Trust no one. Fear mixed with hope. Was this a trap? Salvation. I called Leah. I'm going, but I'm scared. No. Take someone with you, she urged. I can't, I said firmly. It has to be alone. She hesitated, then nodded. All right, be careful. The hours crawled by. I kept checking my watch, my mind racing. At 7:45 p.m. I left my apartment, the cold night air sharp against my skin. The pier was deserted, shrouded. In mist I spotted a figure waiting under a flickering lamppost. You came, the voice said, low and urgent. Who are you? I demanded. No time to explain here. Follow me. I hesitated, then followed through the shadows to a nearby cafe still open. Inside, a stranger pulled out a small envelope. This was found at a place she frequented, they said. A letter from her, dated last month. I opened it. The handwriting was unmistakable, delicate, familiar. Alex, if you're reading this, I'm sorry for disappearing. I had to protect you on myself. I'm alive, but in danger. Please don't try to find me yet. Trust no one but yourself. Love always. Tears blurred my vision. Hope and fear warred inside me. Why send this now? I asked the stranger. They wanted you to stop searching, but they underestimated you. My mind reeled. Who were they? What danger? The stranger leaned in. You need to decide, Alex. Chase her and risk everything, or let her go for good. I looked down at the letter. Then back at the stranger. I can't ignore. I stared at the letter again, the weight of her words pressing down on me like a stone. I'm alive, but in danger. Trust no one but yourself. The fear was raw, but beneath it, a stubborn flicker of hope refused to die. Leah's voice echoed. In my head, you don't have to face this alone, Alex. But I wasn't sure if I wanted help. Not yet. I sat across from her in the lab the next morning. Her eyes searched mine like she was trying to read the storm inside. So, gently, have you decided? I rubbed my face. I'm torn. She's really alive. I want to find her. But what if it's a trap? What if chasing this ruins everything I've rebuilt? Leah nodded. That fear isn't weakness. It's part of healing. But ignoring it won't make it go away either. Exactly, I said, voice tight. I feel like I'm standing at a cliff's edge, One step forward could mean salvation or total destruction. She leaned forward, lowering her voice. You don't have to jump blind. There are ways to protect yourself. Like what? I asked, desperation creeping in. Information, allies, planning. Al laughed bitterly. That sounds like a spy novel. Leah smiled faintly. Maybe, but it's practical. With people who want to keep secrets dangerous ones, going in unprepared is reckless. I swallowed hard. I'm scared. I lost her once. The thought of losing her again, or losing myself, terrifies me. She reached out and squeezed my hand. That's why you need support, Alex, not just mothers you can trust. Isolation only feeds fear. Words hit me harder than I expected. For months, I'd pushed everyone away, building walls around my pain. Okay, I said quietly. I'll try. But what if this is all a lie? What if she's truly gone? Leah's eyes softened. Then you keep living. You keep fighting for the life you deserve. You've come so far. Her faith gave me a strange kind of strength. Later, I paced my apartment, the letter still clutched in my hand. I dialed Raj's number, but hesitated. No, not him. Leah was right and needed real allies. Instead, I called an old friend from college, Sam. He wasn't a scientist, but a private investigator who owed me a favor. Sam, I need help. Something from my past just showed up, and I'm not sure if I'm chasing hope or danger. Tell me everything, he said, calm and steady. I recounted the message, the letter. The fear and hope tangled inside me. We'll start with the pier and the cafe, Sam said. I'll see what I can dig up. Relief washed over me. For the first time, I wasn't alone in this. The next day, Leah and I met to review the experiment data. Her cautious optimism about our work was a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding inside me. Science saved me, I admitted. Now it might help save her too. She smiled, proud. Maybe this time it'll save you both. That night, I sat on the roof, staring at the city lights. The message was a lifeline and a chain. Follow the lead or let go. The crossroads was mine. I whispered into the night, I'm ready to fight for her, for me, for whatever future is still possible. I sat at my desk, the blank page staring back at me like a challenge. It's time, I muttered aloud, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. Time to stop running. Leah leaned against the doorway. You really ready for this? I swallowed. Hard, I have to be. It's not just about me anymore. It's about everything I've been through and what comes next. She nodded slowly. Your story could save someone else, or at least warn them. Why? Yeah, I said, cracking my knuckles. Love, loss, fury, ... all tangled together. I'm not proud of some of it, but it made me who I am. Leah smiled, a little proud and a little sad. I'm glad you're choosing to share it. I took a deep breath. The past still whispers, you know. Sometimes it's loud like it's trying to pull me back, but I'm not its prisoner anymore. Stepped inside, closing the door behind her. Good, because you deserve more than being haunted. I looked back at the screen and typed the first words. I was broken, but not defeated. The words felt heavy but true. The memory of Raj's betrayal, the chaos in the lab, the nights spent alone drowning in guilt, they all lived inside me, but they no longer controlled me. Hey, Leah said softly. How about a break? Coffee? I glanced at her and smiled. You read my mind? Later, we sat at our favorite cafe, the noise around us buzzing faintly. I spilled a little of what I was feeling, writing this book. It's scary, but it's also freeing. It's like I'm finally telling the world I'm more than my mistakes. Leah nodded, stirring her coffee. That's the truth, and people need to hear it. A man at the next table caught my eye and smiled. I smiled back. It felt ... normal. Good. When I returned home, I found a message waiting on my phone. It was from an unknown number. Keep going. You're not alone. A shiver ran down my spine. Hope was fragile, but it was real. I called Leah. Immediately. Got a message, I said. Someone's watching out for me. She grinned. See. The universe has your back. We talked late into the night about the book's direction, raw, honest, and unflinching. I wanted to expose the darkness, but also shine a light on the strength it took to survive. Days turned into weeks. Each chapter peeled back layers I never thought I'd face. Sometimes I think I'm rewriting my own soul, I told Leah during one late session. She laughed. You're healing. One evening, I caught my reflection in the mirror. The man staring back was tired but different, stronger, clearer. I whispered to myself, this is my new dawn.
Ow.
That night I dreamed of her, my fiancée, not as a ghost of pain, but a memory of love. I woke with a smile. I was ready.